Hello and welcome to Let's Play Sky Factory 3 Episode 1. I am Manbeak from SpiderTrap Gaming, and we are playing on Toasty Networks. You see it right there behind me there, Toasty Networks. The server Toasty Networks, I'll put a link in the description, and the texture pack is going to be Sortex Fanfare. It's one I really like. I've been playing it for years, vanilla and otherwise. So let's get right to it. This is a fresh installation. I have no island currently. We're going to go ahead and create that. So island create. My island has been created, and you can teleport using island teleport. Let's go ahead and do that, guys. So island teleport. So one of the things I want to put out there right from the get-go is I'm not going to be doing any real editing or anything to that effect. I don't like editing. I think it's kind of boring. So let's get down to it. It's a little different from most of the ones I play because it gives you a whole island. Look, I got 2 whole trees. I normally wouldn't have any trees at all. So let's see what they give us here. Oh, look at that. Already gave us a compressed crook. Stone hammer. I'll go ahead and put most of these books right back in there. Don't need any of those right now. First thing we're really going to need is that crook there. And I'm going to hold on to that achievement book because pretty much we're going to play right along with that achievement book. You know, whatever it says, that's what we're going to do. Okay? So you can read through all that information whenever you get a chance. It's not something I really need to do. But apparently they don't reset achievement books. Anyway, I want to start from the very beginning. As if I've never played this game before. I want you guys to play along if you want to. If not, just welcome. If you get a chance, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. Share if you want. Get this out there. This is going to be my first video. I've never done any videos before. I'm hoping to be a success. I really like Minecraft. I really like YouTube. So I figured, hey, why not? Let's put the two together. So, opening the achievement book, getting right down to the first one. Use a crook on leaves to get saplings and silkworms. Let's go ahead and give that a go. Alrighty. Alrighty, I hit it. I got a little sapling right there. One of the things I really like about this is I don't need to do all this one single hitting. If you hit that little button up there, top left-hand side, the one next to the one, they call it a grave button or tilde button, whichever one you like. Hold that down and click on something. It'll break most of them just like that. I really enjoyed that feature. Keep in mind, though, it will, however many blocks you break, it kind of utilizes that from your weapon or tool. So, if you break 10 blocks, it's going to take away some of the durability for those 10 blocks, not just one. So, let's keep that in mind. Alrighty, well, it looks like I got saplings right here. I've got a whole bunch of them, actually, 11 and 3 silkworms. Oh, and an apple. That'll do well for whenever I get hungry. Alright. Now, reopening up. I got those things, used the crook, that's great. Oh, twerk a sapling into a tree, that's interesting. That always takes me off a little bit. I think that's kind of funny that that's a thing. But I guess when you're in Skyblock and you have no other way to do it, that was a pretty ingenious way to make it happen. So let's break this one down and plant a new tree. Get all those materials. Ah, beaten wood with your fists. How lovely and how fun. Alright. Let's go ahead and replant that tree right there. And let's twerk it. Anything happening? Oh, look, stars. Love it. Sooner or later, it'll become a huge, huge tree. Now, I learned one thing from this. You don't ever want to twerk too close, because if you're twerking too close, you end up getting caught up in that tree. Suffocate and all that nonsense. So, also a little disclaimer. I was a donor and I've played on Toasty for a while. So I do have fly. So if you don't have fly, I hope you get fly. Fly is important. Just easier not to fall off. However, later on in the game pack, you'll see that jetpacks become a thing. So for those of you who don't have the ability to get fly, jetpacks will be available. So play Toasty. play on Toasty. Get those jetpacks. Alright, so what I just did was I clicked those silkworms into those leaves, and it'll infest all that and all of that. And when I break those, I'll have a really high chance of getting some string, which we need for mesh, which we'll need for sieves. So let's go ahead and just let that go for a while. Let it spread so we can get that. And if we go ahead and look in our book here, it will say make dirt by composting saplings or leaves in an oak barrel. That means I need oak barrel. Let's go ahead and find out how to make that oak barrel. So I'll type it in here. Look at the JEI system. Love this thing. I don't have to remember crap. I know I don't have a very easy time remembering anything. So I'll go ahead and just type in there oak barrel. And find out that easy one to make. Oh, that looks difficult. None of those things are what I want. None of those things are what I want. So let's go ahead and find out if there's just a plain barrel. Pretty sure it's just a plain barrel somewhere. Here we go. Wooden barrel. Easy peasy. So it looks like we're going to need 6 planks and 1 slab of wood. Alright, easy enough. Alright, so I guess if we're going to do all that, let's go ahead and take out all of this. First things first, crafting table. Always need a crafting table. Now, I don't prefer to use that crafting table. I like to put it back in there and get a crafting station. Just easier to use. My preference. Do what you want. I do not mind which way you go. Alright, there's the one nice thing about having this particular crafting station is if you put stuff in there like that, and you just go away, instead of it throwing it all over the floor like that, it just leaves it right there on the crafting table to be there when you come back and get it. You know, that to me makes life a lot easier because I always constantly forgetting to take stuff off the crafting table. Throws it all over the ground, and sometimes you forget it or it times out and you don't get it back, that sort of thing. So it could be important for you. Alright, let's make those slabs. So it's 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and 1 in the middle. There's my barrel. So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of these. It appears that I can make a second one right now, so I will. Let's go ahead and put those down. Good place here, good place. I don't really want it in my way. Why do I have to have water all over the place here? It's a bigger island. I'm not used to that. I'm used to having 1 piece of dirt and 1. So let's just go ahead and put that right there. And put the other one right there. Alright. So, what did it say we had to put in there again? I believe it said saplings, leaves in an oak barrel. There's another thing you can do. You saw that hammer in there. So instead of breaking the tree down with the normal fists or an axe, if you go ahead and just break the tree down with this here hammer, it'll give you a different type of resource there. And that stuff right there, that's wood chippings. Wood chippings can alternately be placed in here. Oh, it rained into my barrels. How unfortunate. I don't really need that because right there is lake. Normally, if you were playing and it was only the 1 block that you get, you could definitely utilize these barrels to get water. It's a really helpful way. Done that before, personally. It works out great. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to place some blocks on top of there like that. Just to prevent that water from filling up since I don't really need it. So I guess I have to break those to get my barrels back without the water in them. That works. That works. There we go. So now hopefully they don't fill back up with water. And if you look in there real quick, oh, look at that. See? Those little chippings there worked out well. Okay. Looking up, I see that we are done with the infested leaves. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and take our crook. Let's hold down that grave key and kaplow. Look at all that string all over the place. Alright, we're going to do that again over here. Oh. Boom. And there we are. Look at all that string. I've got like 2.5 stacks of string and I barely did any work. How great is that? Alright, I'm going to hold on to that small bit there. because I need to get some cobblestone, and I need to get some, you know, metals and that sort of thing, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute, but I think the primary thing we need to do right now is make that dirt, okay? So let's just keep on making that dirt. I'm going to use the hammer. Give me some of that. And throw those in there to make a full thing of dirt there. That's composting now. And that one started composting too. So let's let that make dirt. Alright, while that one's making dirt, let's go ahead and break this one down and turn these into the sieves we're going to need. Because once we get those dirts, we're just going to sieve them immediately. You know, with the island being as big as it is, I don't need to really expand the island immediately like you normally would have to do if you were playing just any old regular version of that Sky Factory. So let's just ignore that for the moment. I could even probably break down these and level out this top here and utilize those as well. I may do that sooner or later. Alright, let's do check JEI real quick and look up sieve. Oh, I hope I can spell that. Is it a sieve or is it a sieve? I believe it is sieve. There we are. The one we need at first is right here. It's the one on the very end. It's taller. These heavy ones, they'll work out later for whatever you're going to do, compacting and sieving and that sort of thing. So let's just worry about these right now. So it looks like we need 2 sticks, a slab, and 4 planks. Okay, it doesn't matter which flavor or brand there. That's what you need. So let me go ahead and put this in here, break those down, and get me some sticks. We'll need those. Alright, so sieve, and move items on there. So that's a really nice option right there from JEI. I love that. Love that a lot. I don't even have to really remember anything. I could just say, hey, that's what I want to make right there, and let's go ahead and move those items in there, and I can create them at any time. And then, with this crafting table, I can just leave them right in there. See that right there? Already there for me. So I'm just going to go ahead and make 2. Just speed it along a little bit. And put them right here, right next to my other things here. Alright. Let's move back over here. Let's worry about the strings. We need to make the meshes now that go in the sieves, okay? So let's make those. Let's look up mesh. So there's several kinds of mesh. To start with, you're only going to be able to make the string mesh. That's pretty important. Because, quite frankly, the other ones require diamonds and things that we just don't have access to right now. So we're going to make the string meshes to start out with, and then just to look at some of the recipes, some flint mesh requires, 5 string, 4 flint. That would be fairly easy to get into. And then iron. So each of these meshes here kind of give similar items. If you see here, if you were to do ender gravel, you would get some ender pearl powder or draconium dust. Let's put it on the regular sieve here. Okay, so let's move into gravel. You see there's gravel right there. So if you were to sieve gravel with an iron stiffened mesh, you would receive coal, lapis, diamond, and then nickel ore, lead ore, iron ore, and gold ore pieces. So if you take 4 of those pieces, put them together, it'll make a chunk. And that chunk you can put in the furnace and make an iron bar or a gold bar and so on. Alright, so if you look at the percentages there, the drop chances, 10% chance to drop 1 and so on. Let's move to the string mesh now. I'll show you the slight differences here. Moving over to gravel again. Notice there's no coal here, there's no diamonds here, it's just simply flint and then the different ore pieces. And the percentages right there, 3% chance, 8% chance, 5%, it's a lot less chance, but you would get like 7 of them or so at a time. Okay, so those are the similar differences, but I recommend getting up to iron mesh as soon as possible, just making life easier on yourself. Alright, so meshes, just right click them right into there. Just like that, and it looks like my dirt's done, so you'll just right click on the barrel to get your dirt. let's go ahead and put that in there. So the sieves work in unison, so you can put them up to a 5 wide by 5 deep and have the meshes all in them, and if you right click in them, it would actually use the whole grid of those 5 at the same time. But again, it only goes up to 5 by 5. So if you would just continue to click on them, then you'll notice they start going down, progression, and once it's done, you'll notice that a bunch of things may have popped in. Like there's some stone pebbles. That's going to get me my cobblestone right there. So let's put those in there. 4 of them makes a cobblestone, which is excellent. So here we go. Just for sort of a tutorial, I'll do most of my sipping off screen for you guys, so you don't have to watch me do it, but just for a tutorial in the first portion here. So you would take your hammer, break it down, alright? So when you break down cobblestone, you'll see that it becomes gravel, okay? If you were to take the gravel and put it down and break it down again, it would become sand. And if you put the sand down, use the hammer on it again, it become dust. And each of those items kind of give you a different variety of items. I'm looking for iron, so the highest amount of that would be in gravel. So to not waste time, I use gravel most of the time. So we're going to sieve that out. Oh, look, iron ore. I only got 1 piece from those 2, but I also got a flint there. So that's how that's done. So I think the next thing I'm going to do is continue growing the saplings, twerking on them as is fun to do. And then I guess I'll come back to you guys when I'm done all that. So I think that's where we're going to end episode 1 for today. I like to keep them nice and short, you know, short and to the point, show you guys what's going on. So episode 1, yeah, it's over for today. I'll catch you guys on episode 2.